Welcome to Shut the Front Door. We're flatmates, we're best mates, but we never see each other. So we thought, why not start a podcast to catch up? This is episode 4.
Episode 4. And remember, if you are listening, you can actually watch us too because we have weekly episodes going out on YouTube. Lucky you.
Yeah, our handles are at Shut the Front Door on TikTok and Instagram. Make sure you like, you comment, you follow, subscribe on YouTube as well, and all of that good stuff.
Let's catch up because we've actually been so busy, I feel. Like we've literally just been working, and I've hardly seen you.
I just feel like my life is just work. And I shouldn't complain because there are so many people out there that would love to do the jobs that we do. Now, for people that don't know, I'm going to assume that most people do know, but if we've got any like new listeners that don't know, basically, me and Ellie do a similar job. Similar but different, but basically the same thing. We are both, well, I'll start with me. I'm like a sports presenter, so I work across football, boxing, and F1. So that'll be like presenting live shows, doing like interviews with the players, doing social content with boxers and stuff like that. So it varies up, and like sort of every single week is different because I'm self-employed. So my weeks are so different. I never have the same week twice in a row, which is quite fun. So yeah, but it just means my life is a bit all over the place because I've got no routine. I'm here, there and everywhere. One day I'm up at 4 a.m. The next I'm up at midday. The next I don't have work. So
2 p.m. usually.
Yeah. No, well, if I'm hungover, yeah. Blame Tom for that.
And I do, very similar job, but that's how we met. We met working for Premier League Productions. Mm-hmm. I am a presenter and also producer, so I come up with the ideas that I then go and present with the players, or if I'm doing like golf content, I'll come up with ideas for that as well. I do football, golf, tennis this summer. So yeah, we're basically both presenters, but it means that our jobs are a little bit all over the place.
A lot of people probably will have already seen this, but if you haven't, I was doing a shoot with Kai Havertz, who when he played for Chelsea at the time. Ellie was actually on that shoot. You actually producing that shoot. Oh,
no,
you were just shadowing
I was
me.
shadowing you. Yeah.
So that was a shoot I did with Kai Havertz when he played for Chelsea. And it was with a kid from India called Merav, and he loved Chelsea, loved Kai Havertz. And we did like a thing where I surprised him on Zoom with Kai. It was amazing. So he thought it was just going to be me, and my acting was great. I just pretended like the Wi-Fi wasn't working. I had to move rooms, covered the camera, and then when we took it off, Kai Havertz was there.
It was so good.
And it was amazing. His reaction was amazing. Anyway, at the end of the shoot, it was like a fun interview. So I was going to be like, I got told, producer told me that Merav knew Kai Havertz's song. So I was like, perfect. End the shoot singing Kai Havertz's song with him sat there. So I like start singing and I'm like clapping along, and Merav just doesn't know the song. So I'm just sat there next to Kai Havertz singing Kai Havertz's song to him. And he was so like, because I'd worked with him before, and he was just like laughing. And I was just like, oh my God. And it got played back on so many of the shows in Premier League later, like, because
you just hear it around the office, like,
Kai Havertz is the best on earth. Kai Havertz is the best on earth. The silky German is just what we need. He won Chelsea, the champions. Fangirling became out, which was very funny, but that was very embarrassing. But I think my most embarrassing was why does it always happen at Chelsea? I was at Chelsea and I was interviewing Noni Madueke and Carney Chukwuemeka. And I was wearing like a skirt because it was a hot day outside. I wasn't in vision, so it was fine, like had a nice little outfit on. I went to the toilet and my zip broke on my skirt, but to the point where it broke at the bottom. So like the sides then were just like flinging apart and my underwear was out. And I was thinking, I can't do an interview because I can't sit there and hold.
Also, can I just
a skirt?
These footballers like will come in dressed in like Louis, like they training kit, but like they have like, you know, the nicest like clothes and stuff. You're probably there in your like PLT skirt, like barely doing up because you've ripped it. Actually, honestly, it was Zara.
And basically one of the cameramen gave me like thick tape. So I stuck like black thick tape to like across it so that the zip would stay together, and it just wouldn't stay. And I was like, what am I going to do? Luckily, obviously, with it being Chelsea, I just messaged like someone I know from the club and was like, do you have anything I can wear? So I then had to change into some Chelsea shorts, and I had to sit there doing an interview with 2 Chelsea players in Chelsea shorts.
I think you did it on purpose.
And it was just so tragic. And the worst part about it is that people probably thought that was my normal attire.
Yeah.
People actually probably thought that I went to Chelsea dressed in a Chelsea. Like, people actually think of me, when they think of me, they think I've got Chelsea bed sheets, Chelsea curtains. Like, they think.
And I can confirm that is all correct.
Sometimes, when I was younger, no, I didn't actually have that when I was younger. So much so that Cole Palmer actually called me Miss Chelsea the other day.
Yeah, oi Chelsea.
No, he actually went, oi Chelsea, and I was like, is that my name? And he was like, well, you're like Miss Chelsea, aren't you? And I was like, that's actually hilarious. But I don't have Chelsea bed sheets and I don't have Chelsea curtains. I do have every shirt you can possibly imagine. But yeah, so I basically had to do an interview and it was actually very tragic.
And a teddy bear.
We got these little tiny Chelsea teddies for the set.
What are you going to call yours?
Name yours fair.
No, I'm not naming mine. No.
John Terry on the back of your shoulder.
I think we'll just unname them. They can just be teddy bears.
Okay, fine.
But anyway, yeah. So that was my like. That's probably like embarrassing. I don't really have any like bad ones where I've come away and been like, oh my god, that's the worst thing ever.
Well, I have got some tragic stories. I will start with the worst thing that's happened to me, shoot related in our current jobs. But my last ones were definitely worse than this. So current ones, I was on my way to a Chelsea shoot with Levi Colwell actually, and I was on my way there. I'd crashed my car the week before, shock, and I basically was a bit late. So I put my foot down on the pedal, was zooming to Chelsea's training ground, like, oh my god, can't be late. The wind on the A road gets under my bonnet because it was broken from the crash. The bonnet flies off my car onto the A road behind me. I'm like, oh my god. Obviously, first thing I do is call my mum crying whilst I'm still driving. I didn't know, by the way, that you had to stop and pick up your bonnet. Like, I'm on an A road, like driving it.
It's long gone.
Like, yeah, it's long gone. There's no way I'm getting out my car.
You're gonna like run up the motorway.
Exactly.
Like,
excuse me, guys. Just wouldn't mind.
Everyone's
My bonnet's actually just trying to pick up.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't kill anyone. Look behind me. It had already landed on the floor. Thank God. That was like, can you imagine? Like manslaughter.
You do exaggerate.
What? That is true, though. That is true.
I mean, yeah, but
anyway,
a lot of things could happen.
I get to Chelsea's training ground. I am shaking at this point. Slightly late. Arrive. I go into the room and I'm with the press guys there. And I'm like, guys, the worst thing has just happened to me. My bonnet has flown off my car. Like, my hand is like, ugh. And I'm like, but don't worry. The RAF are on their way. And they were like, what? And I was like, I've called the RAF. They're coming to pick up my bonnet. They're going to find my bonnet and pick up my car. And they're like, sorry. The RAF are coming to get your bonnet. I think the RAF have got better things to be doing than looking for your Nissan Qashqai's bonnet on a Wednesday afternoon.
Good.
And I was like, I obviously got RAC and RAF mixed.
Oh,
but
so
the most
funny.
embarrassing thing about this, right, is you drive into Chelsea's training ground. My car, I feel naked. All of my wires are on show. I have no bonnet and I'm parking next to a Lamborghini.
No, hold on a second. That is not the most embarrassing part. The most embarrassing part is that you thought the RAF was coming to get your car. That's the most embarrassing part. You thought the Royal Air Force was on its way to Cobham to pick up your car.
Ellie's lost her car bonnet. Guys, quick, get in the jet.
It's just absolutely ridiculous.
I know, that was quite tragic. Anyway,
that's so funny.
Levi arrived and I just had to tell him like what happened.
Yeah.
Like, because I was just like, I'm shaking for these reasons.
Yeah.
So that he kind of understood why I was such a state. But anyway, shoot went really well and that was great.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is good. That was good. But the most tragic actual like story in the workplace, I've got a few and I've seen some of the ones that have been sent in. So I'm just going to try and level up with some of them. But my first, probably mortifying one is I had my overnight bag because I was staying at my boyfriend's at the time, his house that night. So I was in the office and I was like to all of my colleagues, oh my God, do you guys want to see my teddy? And they were like, yeah. So actually, Gizmo is on set.
Also, how old are you? Do you want to see my teddy? Like...
Sounds like an innuendo.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to see my teddy?
Do you want a lick of my cornet? Do you get that?
Yes. Don't lick
The
anything.
in-betweener.
Oh no, you're talking about your thing.
What are you talking about?
Licking TikTok. Anyway.
Oh, not the lolly, no.
No.
Oh my God, have you not seen in-betweeners? And they're like...
No, I don't. I
They
haven't watched
think... They're going around, they're on a school trip and they're looking for like a woman that like... They're looking for a woman that apparently like... sucks off school kids, and they think they found the ice cream lady. So she walks up and he's like trying to think an innuendo. It's like, would you like a lick of my cornet?
What?
Do you not watch the In-Betweeners?
When have we ever talked about the
God,
In-Betweeners?
that's so
We've
funny.
never talked about the In-Betweeners.
10 out of 10 series. But anyway.
I was like, do you want to see Gizmo? My teddy. So I get Gizmo out of my bag, my overnight bag, and I go,
it's a bit ratty, innit?
well, I've had it since I was born.
Bet it smells.
No, doesn't smell it?
No, thanks.
It smells fine. She.
You washed it?
Have some respect.
Washed her.
Yeah, she gets washed every now and then. So anyway, back to the story. I yank Gizmo out. Yank. Now we're talking about innuendos. I don't want to say yank.
Why?
It just sounds weird.
When do you yank
I pull her out my... I don't. Right.
Just reminds me of Americans.
Okay. I pulled Gizmo out of my overnight bag.
Yep.
But I didn't realise at the time, out with Gizmo comes my thong.
Oh, God.
So my
that
thong
is embarrassing.
flies across the room. So you know when you're at desks and you're like, I'm sat here, and then behind you, you've got someone's back, like on your back.
Oh, yeah, like someone sat directly behind me.
It's a guy that I really, really fancied.
Oh, Ellie.
Like, really fancied. And I didn't even notice at the time. And the girl that sat next to me goes, oh, Ellie.
Just say you left it there on purpose.
And points. And I like turn around and I'm like, oh my God, there is this red lacy thong hanging on the back of this workplace chair. And he is oblivious. He's got absolutely no clue whatsoever. My thong is just hanging in the back of his chair. So I just like...
You should have just left it there.
I should have said...
Yeah, just left you a little sign.
Chris,
What was that wink?
Yeah, I can't wink.
I can't either.
Check the back of your crap.
I always wink at Tom and he's always like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
it looks like
I can't even wink.
Twitch, mate. Twitch wink. So that was tragic. That was probably... Oh, gosh. Gizmo.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
That was pretty tragic, but we have actually asked you...
That's an understatement.
We've asked you guys for some of your worst or most embarrassing workplace stories. But before we get on to those, it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
Work is sometimes unbelievable. So we're going to share some of our best work stories too.
Yeah, I think because like, obviously so many people are interested in like what we do and like behind the scenes of like what we do. Like, I think just, do you know, I did the Cole Palmer shoot recently, which is also very, very cool. And I think what you see with Cole Palmer is what you get. And I think no matter who he's with, where he is, you're still going to get the same Cole Palmer, which I think as an interviewee, as an interviewer, I'm not an interviewee, an interviewer, it can be quite difficult. I think it's probably the most challenging interview I've ever done because he doesn't give you very much because that's just him. But it's also the realest interview I've ever.
Fake.
You get his authentic Cole Palmer, and it's cool because
no
you get to know a player on the level of exactly who they are. Yeah. And we don't get that very often. I feel like we sometimes get a different version of players, obviously, because a lot of them are media trained. Yeah. They are as part of their job, but no amount of media training is going to change Cole Palmer. And I absolutely love that. And it was a pleasure to you know, you get to sit down and chat to one of the Premier League's best players. So that was pretty cool. But I think in terms of like standout ones, I mean, for all the girlies that are listening, you might not know who this is, but for all the guys that are listening, if there are, Ronaldinho, for me,
girls will know Ronaldinho.
No, I think if you don't really know football, you're probably not going to know who Ronaldinho is. They'll know who Jude Bellingham is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ronaldinho, to put into perspective, is one of the all-time great footballers, Brazilian. He is up there with like Messi, Ronaldo, not quite those two, but like the next best of like the elite players, basically. And back in the day, he was like best of the best. And like I did a shoot in Budapest. And there's not many players that I get like starstruck by because I think I'm just sort of like used to it now. And you sort of they're just Premier League players at the end of the day. They're just humans. They're same as us. But when he walked in that room and I was just like playing football with him, I was just like, this is like. It was the best day of my life.
Who says that they've played football?
Who can say they've played football with Ronaldinho? And I think for me, that was like up there with like, and I was videoing him and he was doing all these skills with the ball and I was just stood there like, oh my word. And like,
what is my life?
We went to like a party with like, it was one of his entourage's birthdays. So we went to this club and I was just like, what? I'm at like a party with Ronaldinho and like.
Mental.
Yeah, I think that for me will always be the best shoot I've ever done.
Sometimes we do look at each other and we go like,
what is life?
What is our life?
Yeah.
Like something mental will happen and we'll be like, what? Like that's like you can't take that for granted because that is mad.
Yeah, and like I got to work a Champions League final of not just a Champions League final, but my team were in it, and like it was the best few days. That was more with a brand. So that's what I was saying when I was talking about work earlier. I do broadcast work for Sky Sports, DAZN, Premier League Productions, but like I also do brand work sometimes. I say my main job is like broadcasting, but like on the side. And this was actually a brand trip with Football Santander, so it was like still like in my line of work. Right?
Did they give you any free money? Oh wait, well, obviously they paid you.
You fucking idiot.
Sometimes things come out of my mouth and then after I go like that's like it will just come out and then I go,
funny.
Hold on. I mean like in my head I'm like,
Technically, it's not free money though. Well,
yeah. Like, you know when you want to work with a brand because they give you free clothes, but Santander, free money? Yes.
It doesn't quite work like that. But anyway, I went round like Porto, like presenting with a freestyler, and then got to go to the game. And then it was COVID time, so there wasn't that many fans allowed in the stadium. So it was so cool to be there to watch my team win a Champions League trophy and obviously get paid for it as well. So I'd say they're probably my top two because, like, I mean, it's so hard to pick because, like, also, like, there's different things we do in different sports. Like, I went to the Vegas Grand Prix last year with Red Bull. I spent my 30th birthday. I've just given away my age. But
everyone knows your age.
I spent my 30th birthday at the Monaco Grand Prix doing a grid walk, which is just the most mental thing I've ever... probably up there with the most mental things I've ever done. But I'd say, like, they're probably, like, my top three of, like, best shoots I've ever done, including, like, the people that we've worked with.
I think it's, like, it's mad because I don't know, like, I couldn't, like, pinpoint, like, the best shoot I've ever done, but I think it's, like, it's just so, like, I love the part of the job that I do where it's just like you just do random stuff with like people see them playing on a pitch the entire time and they think all they can ever talk about is the game, the game or the match or whatever.
Well, people are interested in that though.
They are, but also like these people that you interview, they are humans as well. Like they're normal people. They've got personalities and people want to see that side of them too.
Yeah.
So like I mean, getting Declan Rice to wear a red wig it's got to be up there with like one of the best things ever. Getting John Terry to wear a chef's hat whilst I interviewed him for my own YouTube, like that's also just mental.
What are you doing with that, by the way?
It's gone out.
No.
Oh, my YouTube.
You just...
Oh, no, next season.
Okay.
No, it's just the season's been mental. Like those sort of things are unbelievable where people are like, how did you get them to do that? And they actually, like, they love it because they get to be themselves and show their actual personality.
I think they're so, like, they have to do football stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So actually, like...
But they have to do the media stuff. So sometimes when you pull them away from that and you actually do something fun with them where they're not repeating the same answers to the same questions every single time, it's quite refreshing.
Yeah, no, like, it's more fun for us. I think because, like, as much as I'm a serious broadcaster and like, yeah, but like I love my personality being able to shine through when I'm on air. That's always the one thing I say. I like to be able to have a laugh. I like to be able to be myself.
Yeah.
And that's the best way of allowing us to be ourselves by doing something fun with them, whether it's a quiz, whether it's a game, whether it's whatever.
Yeah. Just can't help myself from getting involved as well. Like Mickey Van Der Ven's got to wear bunny ears. Great. Stick it on me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the Champions League final though? That must be up there.
Champions League final was outrageous. I think that's just on another level of work. Like that's mental. The first one that I did, so I'll have done 3 years in a row now. But like Champions League final, the first one I did, getting flown to Istanbul. I actually have it in my notes on my phone because I did last year in London.
Oh, I forget it was in London. Yeah.
But I was on the plane on the way there, and you get hypoxia in the plane. I don't know if you know this. Hypoxia is basically, it's like lack of oxygen to the brain. So if you're ever crying on an airplane, that's why, because you get more emotional because you've got like lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
So I'm on the way there and I have like a little digital diary on my phone because every time I'm on the plane, I get like emotional about something and I just write my diary. And that's the first one I ever did. I was like, this is mental that I've been flown out to do the Champions League final in Istanbul. Like I went for dinner with Roberto Carlos, Lucy Bronze, like became friends with Lucy off the back of it, obviously, and like,
friends, work friends.
Yeah, what? That's so tragic. Anyway.
Just to let you know, I became friends with Lucy Bronze.
Yeah, just so
in
you know,
case anyone asks.
We're actually friends now, so it's not even just a colleague thing. Anyway, Roberto Carlos too, if you know. Anyway,
you're not mates with Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, if he sees me, he'll.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. If they see you, they'll say hello. You can't claim your mates.
Actually, he DMs me. Bollocks. Okay, so there are best and worst, but we asked you guys for your stories too. So Liv, kick us off because I think some of these are pretty mental.
Yeah, so many like people actually got in touch, but I think this is by far, I want to say best.
Okay.
It's the best, but it is the worst. Right, this is, okay, let me read it. Okay, this is from a girl called Courtney.
Okay.
So Callum came back to mine after a Friday night meeting and I woke up in the middle of the night to him peeing in the corner of my room.
Sorry?
And then turning around and pooing.
No, you're lying.
I then went to get stuff to clean up and I heard the front door slam, looked out the window and he was running down the road completely naked with poo down his legs. No, this is vile. No. I shouted to him that he'd left all of his stuff, so he had to come back, get his phone and wallet, and then left again, still naked.
No. No, I actually have no words.
That's disgusting.
That cannot be true. That is absolutely. Wait, sorry. So he'd shut himself,
and then
she willingly nearly went and helped him clean up. And then
But like, what are you supposed to do if that happens to you? Are you just going to let someone obviously you're going to clear it up. You're not going to leave a shit in the side of your room, are you?
You'd be like, you clean it up.
I know, but obviously he's so pissed that he doesn't even know what he's doing. Quite clearly.
So and then he ran down the road naked.
Yeah, and then he comes back and gets his stuff, and then proceeds to do it again.
How do you show up to work after that? How do you show up to work after that?
Can you imagine like someone having to tell you that in the morning if you don't actually know?
How can you not remember that though?
I reckon he didn't go back to work.
What, you just reckon he never turned up?
Get in touch and tell us what actually happened after and what it was like, because I really want to know.
I really want to know
what came after.
Absolutely mental.
That is vile.
I could never. I couldn't. You know when things happen at workplaces and you go in the next day, you go on the Monday and you're like, it's fine, just like see past it, act like it didn't happen. Don't worry, we all do those things. We all drink a bit too much. That's just different gravy.
No, that's just
gravy. Oh God, it's fine.
I'm not going to be able to eat gravy from now on.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
Okay, so that was my one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's going to top that.
Good. Okay, I have a very, very niche one. So I'm just going to call this person. Let's just call this person Barry.
Okay.
I looked at a bottle. Barry. At work, they do chicken goujons and the portion size is 3. So I took 4 and thought nothing of it until the canteen manager took me back to the canteen to look at the CCTV of me taking the 4th goujon. I then had to pay 75p for the goujon I stole. And now I have the nickname for life as Goujon.
Oh my God.
How petty is
Stealing
that?
Imagine being taken around to show you. Look what you've done.
No, can you imagine the security guard?
Also,
excuse me.
So busy.
Sir, come over here, please.
So busy.
I saw you nick that 4th Goujon.
So busy. Like get a lot. Honestly,
that's mortifying.
Have you not got anything better to do with your time?
But Goujon chicken. Well, first of all,
it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
I just being nicknamed Goujon from then on is just hilarious.
That is funny. But also just so Jobsworth, get a life.
Would you be embarrassed?
I wouldn't be embarrassed.
I would be so embarrassed because also imagine though if he sneakily tried to sneak a 4th on
Depends how he did it. Did he try sneakily quickly do it?
Well, he said he knew the portion size was 3, so sneaking a 4th on there is a bit
is it that much of a big deal if someone eats this 4th goujon? Really?
No, obviously it's not.
Well, obviously it is.
It's not. But this security guard, the CCTV, the fact they have gone and got the CCTV is just beautiful. Love it. Yeah. That's niche, but a great story.
That is a great story. Yeah.
What else have you got?
I mean, this one's just a bit I think people can relate to this one because it's just so classic at a work party. Everyone, when there's free drinks, which I suppose usually there is if they're big work parties,
free
just
bar.
Goes too over the top. This one's from Bree, and I think everyone can relate to it because everyone always goes too far at a work party. I don't know why it always happens at work parties, but it was always work parties. I think it's because usually the alcohol's free. I've definitely been there once or twice.
Been there, done that.
But I've never had an ambulance called for me, but Bree has, ending up in hospital for drinking too much wine at a staff party and an ambulance was called. I think everyone always goes too far, but having an ambulance called is pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, the ambulance call, that's just also no one wants to deal with you at this point. You've messed up.
Yeah, you're on your own.
Yeah. We'll let the authorities deal with you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to end on a really shit story. Quite literally, we've had
what you did there.
Quite a few of these types of messages in, but this one is pretty good. Okay, this one is from Hannah. So this was back when I was a PA to the CEO. All right, big time. I was super hungover, stood up at my work desk talking to 2 girls that I worked with, and all of a sudden, I'd shat myself. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. It was so random and I was so hungover, I don't really know what happened. It was just a shot, but there was definitely substance in my knickers. I excused myself, got in my car and drove home to change and drove back to work like nothing had happened.
Oh my God, no, how do you accidentally shit yourself?
I've never been in a situation where I've maybe when I was younger,
obviously. Yeah,
or I've heard stories from other people of when like you fart and accidentally shit.
Yeah, no,
at the
that's
same
never
time.
happened.
But like, and you're standing. You're someone at that point. You're a PA to the CEO. People like look to you to be responsible.
What do you even do in that situation? I mean, she obviously just went home.
drove
Like,
home.
like,
does she just shimmy to the door? Like,
how do you'd have to walk like with your legs apart?
Yeah,
Surely
did
you
she
couldn't
go
be like
like-
walking and like smudging it. Like,
oh God! But then you just get in the car.
it's just, yeah, but then you're
drive
sitting
home.
in your shitty knickers.
Well, yeah, no, obviously she had to leave.
Well, no, but like when you go
in
to the
the
toilet and
car.
like wouldn't you go to the toilet and like take your knickers off, try and clean it up as much as possible,
I
and then get in your car and drive home?
I assume she must have done
I'm
that.
thinking she's just shat herself, walked
Walked
to her
straight
car,
out.
sat on her seat,
Yeah.
and then gone. That's disgusting.
That is so embarrassing.
So
I
vile.
can't
No, that's a
go.
very, very good one.
We did also have a few in of people obviously sleeping with co-workers
That's just-
and things
yeah.
like that. But I think that's like
More
that's not like
common
the
than-
worst or embarrassing. I think
I think it happens in every single workplace ever.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've sort of got the gist of like what happens at work, because I know everyone likes seeing behind the scenes of like our jobs, especially because obviously they are pretty unique jobs, I would say, but it doesn't always go to plan.
Definitely
No.
doesn't always go to plan.
No.
But I really enjoyed hearing your stories too. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for sending them in. They honestly have made me howl reading them.
Yeah, some of them are so funny.
And if you guys want to send in any more messages, any stories on anything, want us to talk about anything specific, please let us know. You can reach us on socials at Shut the Front Door, or you can email us at shutthefrontdoor@insanity.com.
Yeah, and that was it for episode 4, by the way.
That's it.
Episode 4.
Mad.
Mad. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube as well as see our socials, like Ellie just said. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. And yeah, we will see you next week for another episode.
See you at episode 5.